What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Drama the Prophet. Welcome back to Prophet Reactions. So today I wanted to do let's bring it back a little bit. I was on YouTube and I was going around YouTube and I found this one video and it stuck out to me. The title was Why UPN Black Sitcoms Ended. And it's by a YouTube channel named Comedy Hype. I believe that's the name of it, right? So I said, let me do some, I definitely want to check this out. And I say, yo, what better way to do that with my Level Up family? You know what I'm saying? If you did not hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that subscribe button now. Listen, I grew up off of black sitcoms, 90s sitcoms. If that's you, put your favorite in the comment. Put your favorite black sitcoms in the 90s in the chat. I grew up off this. Martin, In the House, Moesha. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Grew up on it. Fresh Prince. Come on, y'all. Let's go. But let's get into this video right after this intro. Let's go. I go by Drama the Prophet, aka Mr. Cut the Check. What I need y'all to do is hit that subscribe button. Alright. Like I said, me looking at this, right? It is an older video, right? It's like 3 years, I think, since they created this. But I definitely wanted to take a look at it and see what they talking about in there and seeing if we, I throw my own little flair in there too, All right, so let's get into it.
Throughout history, arts and entertainment have been used as a way to express ourselves,
Shout out to
stories,
Comedy Hype,
give us relief from oppression, and as an escape from the harsh reality of daily struggles. As history started to repeat itself in the early 1920s, a distraction was needed, and we got the Harlem Renaissance, which became a social and artistic explosion and a mecca for black culture. The Harlem Renaissance is widely considered as the golden age for African American culture.
Yo, I like how they already putting this in, tying the Harlem Renaissance. Yo, I like that. It's already starting in 26 seconds into the video, they going in. Let's go. Come on. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Showcasing literature, music, art, and live performances. The Harlem Renaissance was a rebirth of black excellence. Similar to the Harlem Renaissance, black sitcoms had also seen a rebirth after what seemed like an eternity with an absence of black faces on TV screens. In the 70s, we had Sanford and Son, Good Times, and The Jeffersons. In the 80s, we had The Cosby Show, and in the 90s, we had Fresh Prince, Martin, A Different World, and Family Matters.
Right.
TV executives noticed that these shows were not only enjoyed by blacks, but they can also be enjoyed by almost anyone. Despite the success that these shows had, seeing a black lead on screen was still a rarity. It wasn't until the introduction of UPN and the WB network where we got to see another renaissance.
Yo, UPN was the joint. They had all the shows on there. All the shows, literally.
Of black sitcoms on television. But just as surprisingly it came, the networks and its black sitcoms disappeared. Here's why UPN and its black sitcoms came to an end. Before UPN and the WB launched, Fox was a network that saw the trend of successful black sitcoms and capitalized on it with shows like In Living Color, Martin, Living Single, Rock, and The Sinbad Show. The shows on Fox were unapologetically black. Martin was a black show. The Cosby Show, on the other hand, was a family that just happened to be black. It may come as a surprise to many, but UPN wasn't the first network to implement shows with predominantly black casts. The WB had made it a priority. After Fox had canceled all of its black-led sitcoms in the late 90s, most of the network's executives jumped ship to a new upcoming network, the WB, where they would try to appeal to black viewers. The first show to debut on the WB was The Wayans Brothers, and it set the tone for what the network...
Ooh, I still watch The Wayans Brothers to this day, y'all. Like, literally. You know what I mean? Like, if I want like a laugh, like, cause I know everybody have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, let me throw on this show cause I feel like I want to laugh. Or I want to throw on this show cause I feel like I want that. You know what I mean? You throw on certain shows because you want to feel certain way. When I throw on The Wayans Brothers, man, come on, man. You know what I mean? That's
what was
why
trying to be. The show was a breakout success and immediately renewed for a second
season.
They killed it. Following the Wayans brothers, the WB premiered Robin Townsend's The Parenthood, and later picked up Sister Sister, which was canceled by ABC. In August of 1996, we would then get sitcoms starring Steve Harvey and Jamie Foxx. Both Harvey and Foxx began making names for themselves in their respective markets. Harvey coming off of his stint as the host of Showtime at the Apollo, and Foxx was then known as a comedic actor who got a start on In Living Color. In less than 2 years, the WB had cemented itself in becoming the go-to place for black entertainment. However, this formula wouldn't last long as the network decided to expand by adding several shows.
Yo, tell me if y'all remember these shows. I really need to hear y'all in the comments. Let me know, like, what's your favorite show in the 90s? Give me two. Two of your favorite shows in the 90s. I'm going to tell y'all my favorite shows, two shows that I like. My favorite shows, Wayans Brothers and Martin. Hands down, my best right there. I like all of them, but those two was my best right there.
Shows that would cater to white teenagers. Shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Dawson's Creek, Charm, and Seventh Heaven would become super popular and prove to be more profitable. These teen dramas are what became priority for the network, shifting its focus from black audiences to white ones. Around the same time, UPN took the WB's formula and started to focus on black audiences. UPN was launched in January of 1995, and one of the first shows to debut on the network was Moesha, starring Brandy Norwood. Moesha was originally ordered as a pilot for CBS's 1995 to 1996 television season, but was passed on by the network. So UPN took the opportunity and picked it up as a mid-season replacement. Moesha not only went on to become the biggest success at the time for UPN, lasting 6 seasons, but the series also paved the way for its spin-offs. Moesha was the first hit for UPN, averaging 3.5 million viewers.
Ooh, that's a lot. 3.5 million. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm going to tell you like this. I feel like when it came to black sitcoms, they didn't last that long. 6 seasons is a pretty good range, but compared to a lot of the other shows, I want to say, I don't even know if Seventh Heaven, so let's say Seventh Heaven. Pretty sure they had hella seasons, you feel me? A lot of seasons. But also, it was different. Seventh Heaven wasn't like the way it was set up for our sitcoms, for black sitcoms, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, those was more like shows, you know what I'm saying? So, but black sitcoms, literally, I would say maybe the longest, about 6 seasons. Ain't passing no 7, 8, 9, 10 seasons. You know what I'm saying? It's not happening. You know? So 6 seasons. Yo, look at that show. What is that show called? Supernatural. That show literally gotta have like 20 seasons hands down. I could be capping right now, but it got a lot of seasons. I know damn well they passed 6 seasons. You feel me? I know for sure. I'm gonna look it up. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up.
Per episode. The series would achieve a ratings high of 4 million a week by its 3rd season. The show was an undeniable success for the network. They ordered a spin-off series following one of its supporting characters, Kim Parker, played by Countess Vaughn. The spin-off would be called The Parkers, and Vaughn would be joined by comedian Monique in his starring role. The Parkers would be another hit for UPN, as its first season would average about 2.6 million a week. By the time the series ended in 2004, its audience had grown to 3.3 million viewers. In addition to Moesha and The Parkers, UPN had comedies like In the House, Malcolm and Eddie, and The Hughleys to complete their lineup. Familiar names like LL Cool J, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Eddie Griffin, and D.L. Hughley helped sell those shows. UPN had become a savior for some shows that were canceled by major networks. In the House originally aired on NBC for its first 2 seasons. After low ratings, the network picked it up, where they aired an additional 2 seasons. The same thing happened with The Hughleys after being canceled by ABC after its 2nd season. UPN stepped in and hosted another 2 seasons before it was canceled again. UPN had become known as the Black Network. From one perspective, it appeared that UPN found its audience. Their Monday night lineup, showcasing a night of black sitcoms, would forever be remembered. But a look inside the UPN offices.
They lineup was crazy on them days. Like, man, I remember like really sitting there watching. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't when you could be like, all right, let me pause it. This is like, yo, we here watching this. If you missed it, you missed it. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Yeah.
tells a different story. Within 2 years of UPN's launch, Paramount and Viacom bought a 50% stake into UPN from Chris Kraft Television in a deal that was worth around $160 million.
Mm.
According to The New Yorker, as a result of the lack of viewership, UPN started to lose money and reportedly lost around $800 million by the year 2000, only
Wow.
5 years after its launch. Why was UPN losing money? How was this even possible? Simple. There was no consistency when it came to UPN's audience.
With Flonase, allergies don't have to be scary. Spraying Flonase daily gives you long-lasting, non-drowsy relief. Psst, psst. Flonase,
Couldn't skip
all
it,
good.
but they gotta
A
get their money.
2003 Deseret article would point out UPN's programming model would be a reason why the network wasn't holding on to viewers. The article states UPN is focusing on attracting viewers ages 18 to 34, and they're very proud of the minority audience that watches the network's programming. But among the network's struggles is the fact that it has a very little audience flow from one night to the next. The fact that UPN has 5 different audiences on 5 different nights. Viewers who watch the black sitcoms on Mondays don't watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer on Tuesdays, who don't watch Enterprise on Wednesdays, who don't watch WWE Wrestling on Thursdays, who don't watch the UPN movie on Fridays. While many at home love the black sitcoms on Monday nights, the network behind the scenes was losing money. Going into the 2000s, UPN welcomed shows like Girlfriends, One on One, Half and Half, All of Us, and Eve, shows that would resonate with a black audience.
They was producing a lot of shows back then for black entertainers and black actresses and actors. Like it was
Girlfriends would go on to
crazy.
become the network's longest running sitcom, lasting 6 seasons and 137
See,
episodes,
6 seasons.
before moving to the CW, where it ran for another 2 years.
Okay,
The ratings for these sitcoms did well.
so they did 6, 7. So they did 8 seasons. Okay, so I was wrong. I was wrong, people. I was wrong. But let me see. Cause I did type in, right? I did type in black sitcoms in the 90s, right? So what I see here, y'all probably can't see it. I don't think y'all can see what I'm looking at. No, y'all can't see. So you got In the House, 5 seasons. Moesha, 6 seasons. Living Single, 5 seasons. We got Martin, 5 seasons. Steve Harvey, 6 seasons, right? Not a lot of black show. The Fresh Prince, which that was an iconic show, right? 6 seasons, right? Not a lot of black shows. Jamie Foxx show was 5 seasons. Rock, 3 seasons. That's crazy. Not a lot of shows really went beyond that 6 seasons or that 5 seasons. It was like a stretch to get past that 5 seasons. Wayne's Brothers, which that we all know that was an awesome show. 5 seasons, right? 1996 when Kenan and Kel came out, they only did 4 seasons, y'all. Like crazy. The Parkers, 5 seasons. So, like looking at this, the PJs 3 seasons. Like looking at this is really not a lot of the shows that I'm naming is very iconic shows. Like everybody should know, especially black people should know like these shows, right? You should know what these shows are. If you didn't grow up on it, then you probably might not know. You know what I mean? But I grew up on these shows, so all of these shows I'm naming I know and I watch, right? So these are actually really good shows that I grew up on, stuff like that. A lot of y'all probably could understand that. And seeing like these shows didn't last long. And some of these shows when they end, it was like, huh? So you know what I mean? It didn't end on a note where it was like, all right, we are gonna stop this show. It was like they did it and we thinking it's gonna be another season, and it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? It didn't happen. I think Martin they end off pretty good on Martin. You know what I'm saying? I think they actually end the show. They set it up to end the show. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Well for UPN, but they still paled in comparison when it came to sitcoms on the major networks. Despite the launch of more black shows, UPN continued to lose money. In 2003, UPN's comedy
Hercules.
lineup consisted of The Parkers, Eve, Girlfriends, and Half on Monday nights,
Eve was cool.
with One on One and All of Us airing back to back on Tuesdays. All of those shows averaged around 3 to 3.5 million viewers an episode. Their competition varied throughout the years. Girlfriends and Half aired opposite of Everybody Loves Raymond and Two and a Half Men on CBS. For the 2003 to 2004 TV season, Raymond was the number 10 show on TV, getting just over 17 million viewers an episode compared to Girlfriends at 3.6 million, which ranked as the 128th show.
Dang.
That same year, One on One averaged 2.9 million
How many
viewers.
seasons that?
Its competition,
9.
That 70 show averaged
So
10 million
everybody loves Raymond. They did 9 seasons. 9 seasons of that.
viewers. The Bernie Mac show would often compete with UPN sitcoms as well, averaging 7.5 million viewers during the 2003 to 2004 season. Although UPN shows would most likely have been canceled if they aired on the major networks, they were able to survive being outside of the Big Four. In 2005, UPN scored its highest rated series in several years, Everybody Hates Chris. In its debut season, Everybody Hates Chris averaged 4.2 million viewers, becoming the highest rated comedy on UPN and the second highest rated show overall, only behind America's Next Top Model.
Okay.
Everybody Hates Chris premiered on UPN on September 22nd, 2005, and took no time in becoming an instant critical hit and a fan favorite. The American Film Institute selected Everybody Hates Chris as one of the best 10 television series of 2007, saying that the show provides a very real look at growing up in America, a challenge that demands a discussion of race and class.
That definitely was a good show. It definitely showed a lot of different things, you know what I'm saying? The funny part was they showed his pops being so cheap, you know what I'm saying? Like everything was cheap. And I kind of feel like I think I'm that father now. I feel like that. I mean, I don't know, maybe.
Often absent from television today.
You know there's an art to making a perfect gingerbread house. And my
Yo, they killing it with
Yeah, well, my grandma taught me too.
they ads. They getting all their money. Get your money, man. Get your money, bro.
You're welcome.
We ain't skipping it. We ain't skipping it.
After its first season, the
We
show
ain't gonna skip it. Let him get his money, man.
won
Shout
Outstanding
out Comedy Hype, yo, for real.
Comedy Series at the NAACP Image Awards, and Tashina Arnold took home the award for Outstanding Actress in a
Yo,
comedy.
why Chris Wright look like that though, bro? Like, why he looked like he's surprised. Like, she came up on him, and she was like, "Come on, yo, let's take this picture." He was like, "Oh shit."
Series that same year.
he just got slapped, y'all. Nah, let me stop.
Unfortunately,
Let me stop. Chris Wright, listen, bro. I'm just playing, bro. Just playing, bro.
the high ratings of Everybody Hates Chris wasn't enough to save the declining UPN network. In January of 2006, however, UPN and the WB announced they were officially shutting down, and a new broadcast network that would operate as a joint partnership between the two would form called the CW. The move came as a result
CW, when they did that was all right. I ain't gonna lie.
of both networks losing money.
They put out a lot of shows on the CW that was actually pretty good. I ain't gonna lie, man.
It was announced that only 6 UPN shows would make the transition to the CW. Veronica Mars, Everybody Hates Chris, Girlfriends, America's Next Top Model, All of Us, and WWE SmackDown. Ratings for those shows decreased even further when the network switch became official. Everybody Hates Chris lost over 1.5 million viewers when the second season debuted on the CW, and Girlfriends lost nearly 1 million viewers.
Wow.
The entire audience didn't make the transition from the UPN network to the CW. By 2008, the CW had been on air for 2 years, and Everybody Hates Chris was the last scripted show from UPN still standing. The show was paired with The Game, a spinoff of Girlfriends that made its debut on the CW in fall of 2006. Now, it's been nearly 15 years since the CW launched, and none of its programming reflects a diverse audience like UPN and the WB did in the late 90s and early 2000s. Supernatural.
Yo, everybody loved Supernatural. It was a good show. You know what? I didn't even really watch all the show. I probably watched like one season. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. You know what I mean? But it was all right. It was all right.
is the only series left from either network, and most of its show is rooted in the DC superhero universe, catering towards white teens.
It started.
In a 2019 interview with Shadow and Act, star of Half and Half, Essence Atkins, would further explain why many of UPN's black sitcoms came to an end when the CW was created. When you're the number one, number two show on a network, and then the network just dissolves and gets bought out and becomes something else, it's not the first time that a network has built their wealth on black content, and then slowly but surely goes through a gentrification process. We, as black audiences, we are incredibly loyal. We have a lot of buying power, and so markets capitalize on that. What seemed to be the pattern was that they would get their hit white show, and then they would slowly but surely eradicate the directives. That leaves a big deficit in terms of us being able to see our own stories, believing in your own story, and amassing an audience to the point where you become undeniable. For the Harlem Renaissance, the end began with the market crash of 1929 and the Great Depression. By the mid-1930s, many pivotal Harlem residents had moved on to seek work elsewhere. As both the Harlem Renaissance and UPN are memories of the past, their impact and influence are unquestioned. Just as the Harlem Renaissance served as a reawakening of black entertainment and art, so was UPN. UPN came at a time where networks were overlooking black sitcoms and the black audience. UPN broke that mold. When the network ended, there was a huge void in black primetime sitcoms, a void that just recently been filled with shows like Blackish, Atlanta, and Insecure. But we still have yet to recapture the essence and representation of what an all-black lineup provided.
Yo, that was good. Shout out Comedy High. Yo, that was good. I ain't gonna lie. That was definitely good. I like that. I enjoyed it. Listen, if you did not hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that subscribe button now. We will be going live on December 29th. We're doing live reactions. We're going to be talking it up, and I might be doing a giveaway. But we trying to get to that 500 subscriber mark. So like I said, if you did not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I appreciate it. Listen, we are trying to work as hard as we can. And once again, I'm gonna tell y'all, I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Y'all have a wonderful day. See y'all in the next video. I'm out of here.